Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to do blood glucose estimation. Blood glucose estimation can be carried out using either whole blood, plasma, which is obtained by separation of the blood cells by centrifugation. The clear liquid that is obtained is called as plasma, or you can use serum sample. So blood is collected in absence of anticoagulant and then it is allowed to coagulate so as to allow clot formation, and the liquid that remains, the supernatant after clot formation, is called as serum. So you can use either serum or plasma as sample for blood glucose estimation. Let me show you the components which we are going to use for estimation of blood glucose. We are going to use kit which we have obtained from Biolabs. You can see the kit here. So it is called as glucose GOD-POD kit. Now this kit comes along with various reagents. Let me show you, take out the reagents and show you. So the kit contains a bottle of buffer. So it is labeled as glucose GOD-POD buffer. It also comes along with another bottle which is called as glucose GOD-POD enzyme. So this is a preparation which contains enzyme as well as a substrate for amino antipyrine, and it comes with a standard glucose standard with 100 milligrams per deciliter concentration. Before you start your experiment, it is necessary to suspend enzyme, that is the bottle containing glucose GOD-POD enzyme. All the contents of the bottle are added into buffer and allowed to dissolve properly so as to get reagent 1, which will be used for estimation of glucose in either plasma or serum sample. As I have already told you, the method is called as glucose GOD-POD endpoint method. Kit comes along with information brochure which will describe principle of the method, the reagent composition, how the preparation of working reagent is carried out, storage and stability of the reagent, what sample can be used, then the protocol for addition, formula that is to be used for calculation, expected values for fasting glucose, postprandial glucose, and for non-diabetic sample, how urine test is carried out, limitations of the method, and quality control. This here is the protocol for addition of reagents. In the method which we are going to use, the calorimeter can work with 1 ml of sample. So the working reagent which is prepared by mixing the enzyme sample which is provided with the kit with the buffer is used as the first reagent. So you will add 1000 microliters of working reagent in a clean glass tube and 10 microliters of the sample. This will be mixed well, and you have to incubate the tubes at 37 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes in a water bath. Pink color developed is red at 546 nanometers or using a green filter. The final color is stable for at least 30 minutes when it is protected from bright light. Please note down the requirements for this estimation. This is reconstituted working reagent. So I have dissolved the enzyme powder which was provided with the kit in this buffer and the working reagent is now ready. I will require mechanical pipette head with glass pipette of 1 ml or 2 ml volume so as to transfer 1 ml, that is 1000 microliters of reagent as per the protocol which I have shown just now. This here is the standard glucose bottle. You will add standard glucose in the tube labeled standard in order to estimate glucose content in the given standard sample as per the protocol. We will require micropipette of 10 microliters volume and tips for the addition of standard. These here are serum samples labeled as S1, S2 and S3. Other requirements include water bath which is set at 37 degrees centigrade, a calorimeter for estimation of the sugar content as per the protocol. Take clean and dry glass tubes for the estimation. One tube will be labeled as blank, next tube as standard, and since we have 3 samples, you will require 3 tubes, test S1, test S2 and test S3 for estimation. We have seen protocol, so according to protocol, in blank, standard and all tests, 1 ml each of the working reagent will be added using the glass pipette. After the addition of working reagent, add 10 microliters of distilled water in blank, 10 microliters of standard solution which is provided with kit into tube labeled standard, and serum samples S1, S2 and S3. 10 microliters will be added in each of these tubes respectively. As described, 1 ml of working reagent will be added. So I am adding first working reagent in tube labeled blank. Similarly, the reagent will be added in all the tubes. We will start with addition of distilled water. Before that, let us try to see how the micropipette functions. This is a 10 microliter pipette. If I press once, I can take the liquid. So I have taken 10 microliters of distilled water. Now, so as to add this distilled water in the tube, insert the pipette and touch the tip on the side of the wall because the volume is very less. Press once, and so as to eject completely, press it twice. So I have finished addition of distilled water. Now I will change the tip. The second addition is of standard. So let us add in the similar manner 10 microliters of standard provided with the kit into the tube labeled standard. So I will press twice to eject. Mix after addition. We will have to change the tip again. Now we are going to start with addition of our samples. First, sample S1 into the tube labeled test S1 You have to change the tip in between. Now sample S2. Excess liquid can be drained on the sides. You have to transfer it into the tube label S2. Take care that it is transferred completely by pressing twice. Mix well. For the next sample, again we will have to change the tip. Now our last addition, sample S3. So I will have to press once. Take the sample. While adding in the tube, I will press once and then once more, so as to eject the sample completely. Mix the contents of the tube. So with this we have finished with all the additions. Now all our tubes are ready for incubation at 37 degrees centigrade in water bath for 15 minutes. So now we are keeping the tubes for incubation in the water bath, which is set to 37 degrees centigrade. The incubation is over now. So let us remove the tubes from the water bath. Now we will have to proceed for taking readings. Before taking readings, I have switched the colorimeter on. The wavelength which I have selected is 530 nanometers. Since we do not have a filter, we are not using spectrophotometer here and we require green filter. We do not have the filter with 549 nanometers here. So you select the closest wavelength, that is 530 nanometer. I have put distilled water in blank and now I have selected absorbance as mode and entered, but the reading is 0.01. So I will press auto 0. Now you can see that the reading is 0. So colorimeter is ready for taking readings now. So now we will start taking readings. First we are going to read blank. Now this is a reagent blank. So we will remove the distilled water blank and let us wipe the cuvette. Now this colorimeter can read 1 ml sample. So 1 ml reaction mixture is sufficient. So this is the blank reading, 0.03. So now the next tube which we are going to read is standard. In between the tubes we have to tap them on filter paper so as to remove the contents of previous sample. Now let us fill it with standard. So we have to repeat the same procedure. Now I have filled it with standard, so let us take reading of standard. So the standard reading is 0.26. Now in the same manner we have to repeat with all the three samples, S1, S2 and S3. So now let me read sample S1. Remember, you have to maintain the same orientation. For sample, the reading is 0.48. I am noting down readings side by side. Now we have to fill the cuvette with the next sample, that is S2. The sample reading is 0.78. Now the last sample, that is S3. So you can see here that the pink color is developed due to reaction between hydrogen peroxide and 4-amino antipyrine and phenol that is present in our reagent. So this pink color we are reading at 530 nanometers, and the third sample S3 has reading 0.66. With this we have finished with taking readings. This color, pink color which is developed, is stable for 30 minutes. So we have to finish taking readings within 30 minutes after the incubation is over.